Are you looking for a PTZ camera with all the right moves? Well, this is the Canon CRN700, and it has some moves that I don't think even you have seen yet. And hint, some of them move on their own. All right, let's get right into it. Canon is known for its impeccable imaging in its photography cameras and lenses, and many of these cameras are used every day in film and television production. However, most of you don't know that Canon also makes amazing feature-rich PTZ cameras. The CRN 100, 300, 500, and 700 all make up the Canon line of PTZ cameras designed to meet your needs. If your needs are to stay on budget, then look to the 100 and 300. But if features like UHD 60p and 12G SDI are more your requirement, then this is why you tuned in today, because we are breaking down the CRN 700. First, take everything you know about Canon, from their award-winning lenses, their digic processors, which power the world's best still cameras, their renowned Canon color science, prized with videographers and photographers the world over. Canon sets the bar for others to follow when it comes to camera science. Now pack all that expertise into a PTZ camera, and this is what you get in the CRN 700. Now, if you know PTZ cameras, there are a few items you are waiting for me to cover, so let's get to the numbers. This camera has a 15x optical zoom lens with dual pixel autofocus, basically the fastest, sharpest autofocus I've ever seen in a PTZ camera. 12G SDI output, 3G SDI output, HDMI output, and IP outputs, including none other than NDI HX and SRT. Genlock and timecode inputs. To be honest, when was the last time you saw Genlock and timecode on a PTZ camera? Probably never. 1/8 inch mini mic inputs and 2 XLR inputs with phantom power. Yes, I said 2 with phantom power. Now look, this is rarely seen on PTZ cameras. Yeah, we get consumer inputs on mini cameras, but never phantom power. This really means you can leave more gear behind and use better mics in this camera. Look, I know most people don't plug their microphones into their PTZ cameras, true, but due to the inclusion of NDI and SRT in this camera, it can be used as a remote interview camera. Put the camera in the CEO's office, in a classroom, or anywhere on the network, plug in a mic, and you can now feed content back to your main video switcher. And if you use SRT, the camera doesn't even have to be on the same network, or in the building for that matter. Alright, if you notice the 12G and 3G SDI, you may be wondering why both. Well, of course, the first response is no need for a down converter. Run the camera in 4K and feed both UHD and HD systems simultaneously. And if that were all it did, well, I'd be moving on to my next point. But what's better than just a scaled down version of the same shot? Well, a cropped version of the main shot. Canon engineers gave the most incredible present in the 700 with a second video feed via the 3G SDI port. For concerts, plays, classrooms, you can get a close-up of the talent while the camera maintains a wide shot of the stage. 2 cameras, 1 price. Now, the last trick the Canon engineers threw into the 700 that will soon be moving to the other units as well is auto tracking. I mentioned earlier that Canon's digic processors were world-class camera processors that rarely get used to full capacity. Well, what do you do with the overhead? You teach it how to follow a human being. No external software is required other than to turn this feature on and off. Once done, it will chase, and look, I do mean chase the subject on stage, ensuring they're always in focus and in frame. I tested this on stage at Infocom this last year and attempted running back and forth on stage to see if I could lose the camera. I couldn't. It had me dead to rights from start to finish. So the Canon series of PTZ cameras brings cinema quality production to a market saturated with traditional broadcast cameras. The CRN 700 brings 4K 60, Canon's color science, lensing and imaging prowess, along with auto tracking, dual image output, and paired with a Canon PTZ controller, you will have an amazing combo that will elevate the look of every video production you're working on. To get more info, see your JB&A sales team for demos and quotes.